Hi. So today we're going to talk about my VA VRAP VRND adventure. It's an exciting one. So here we go. Prepare yourself. For the last 2 years, or almost 2 years, I've been in school studying business administration. I've been participating in a program called VRAP or VRND, and it's effectively a vocational rehabilitation education program that the VA offers veterans. It helps them learn new skills in order to improve their employability and kind of help them find a new career path. I'm not an expert, but if you do have questions about it, drop a comment, message me somehow. I'll do my best. I might not have the answer, but I can at least point you in the right direction. I've been on this program for almost 2 years. It's supposed to cover an associate's. I intend online courses through Strayer University, and I've loved my time with Strayer. It's actually been a very good experience for me. As I approached the end of my time in school, I had a fascinating thing happen to me. The ineptitude of the VA once again got to rear its ugly head at me and reminded me why it's such a malignant organization to deal with. 2 months ago, my monthly stipend was grossly underpaid. I normally would receive about $650 every month. It's like my BAH or my housing allowance while I go to school. It's kind of like how the GI Bill works. But instead, I received $87. I didn't really think much of it. If any of you have ever dealt with the VA, it's not an impossibility for them to make an error and then just automatically correct it within the next month. So I didn't honestly think much about it. I was a little late verifying my enrollment, and I kind of figured that created some sort of error. Not too worried. Well, then in April, I decided to wait till April and see if they would just back pay me. Well, April came around, and I received absolutely $0, which I thought was interesting. So I immediately called into the VA education department. I spoke with a gentleman about being underpaid, and he told me I should be getting $950 a month. So I'm being underpaid $300 a month already based on what this guy told me. Now, I'm not 100% certain his information is accurate. I haven't attempted to verify it yet. But I let him know I was getting 87. He looked into it. He couldn't find any reason why. So he ended up kind of submitting some sort of support ticket to investigate it. And within 3 to 5 days, I got an email. That email stated that my VRND was exhausted. I also got a letter in the mail that told me my voc rehab funds were exhausted. Now, if you remember, this was supposed to cover an associate's. I haven't been going slow. Like, I've been on pace. Nothing's out of sorts. So I was almost done with my associates. It literally exhausted at my last term. I have one term left, and it was just like, nope, we're done. It's not even a full term. It's one class. I have one class left. So I called in again. I spoke to an education rep. My first question that I got from them: who's your counselor? I said, I don't have one. I explained to them that I enrolled in the program prior to the shutdown, and during the shutdown, there was a lot of weird stuff that happened, and I never really got assigned a counselor to the best of my knowledge. So I said, I don't have a counselor. And the rep that I was talking to immediately said, well, then you need to apply for voc rehab. I already did. I'm already enrolled. I'm already getting my funds. Like we're already past that point. Well, then you need to speak to your counselor. Okay, I don't have one. And we kind of did this circle for a couple seconds, right? Where I explained to them that I'm already in the program. I couldn't even, words escaped me as they are right now by the time we got done with that circle conversation. After I hung up with them, I actually ended up going through my email. I found some confirmation emails from when I first enrolled because I had to end up doing it through the eBenefits website. The whole enrollment process could really be its own video based on how I had to do it. But anyway, I emailed an address that was in one of my confirmation emails. Like, they were like, hey, we got your paperwork, blah, 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 blah. I emailed that address. So then what ended up happening was I got an email within 72 hours. The email was from a lady who said she was no longer in that department, but she stated that she forwarded my issues and questions to the lady that replaced her in that position. This was on Monday. It is today, Thursday, and I have not heard from that lady. So I went through the emails again. I saw where the new lady was CC'd in the email conversation, so I decided to email her directly. So I emailed her, explained to her, hey, I don't know if you got this, blah, 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 blah. She answered actually pretty promptly, said she received the forwarded questions and that she didn't really have an answer, so she had to send them to her supervisor and that she was just waiting for a response, which really tells me she just didn't do anything. And as soon as she got the email from me, realized she needed to, because within 2 hours of that, I got another response. So what took 4 days really only took 2 hours if I'd have just emailed her right away. Her response told me that after talking to her supervisor, I wasn't even in the VRAP program and that my VRAP enrollment was denied 2 years ago. I don't know how that works because I got paid for those 2 years. But yeah, she told me I was never in the VRAP program, everything got denied. I did respond to her. I explained to her that I've been in the program, I've been getting paid, I've got correspondence with the school that confirms that I'm in the program. So I ended up emailing her all that back. I never got a response after that. So I ended up calling the education department again. I asked how I would get a hold of a counselor if I needed to. And she said, well, you got to apply. And I'm like, no, I'm already in the program. I just need to speak to a counselor because I don't have one. And she's like, well, if you don't have one, or if you're already in the program, you just talk to your counselor. So we ended up doing that whole circle all over again until she finally realized what it was I was trying to ask. And then she gave me numbers to the local offices. But at this time, it was 4 p.m., so they're all closed right before a 4-day weekend. Like this was today. I've been in this program for 2 years. I've got correspondence with the school talking about being in the program, how on earth I could be going to school, getting my tuition paid, getting a monthly stipend, and the VA doesn't even know I'm in the program is beyond me. I don't even understand how that happens. How do they pay me money for a program that they don't even think I'm in? And I know some people have had very good experiences with the VA, but this has generally been what type of interactions I've had with the VA. Consistently been my experience. And anyway, I just wanted to share this adventure with everybody. Thank you for listening. If you've got similar stories, feel free to talk about them in the comments. Let me know. Thanks a lot.